First of all, we're going to be starting with mini test 1, question 9, evaluating the limit as x approaches infinity of ln 3x squared plus 1 over x squared minus 3. I'm going to be crossing out the constants, been crossing out the equal x squareds, so I'm going to be left with L of limit of x approaches infinity of ln of 3. Nothing else to cross out, so my final answer is ln of 3. That's it for question 9. Now on to the mini test 2 of question 5. I need to find h prime of 2. So first of all, I gotta find h prime, which is f prime x times g of x minus f of x times g prime x all over gx squared. Now I'm going to be plugging in the 2, so that'll be f prime 2 times g of 2 minus f of 2 times g prime of 2. That's all going to be over g2 squared. I don't know all this off the top of my head, so we're going to figure this out via the graph. So got to find f of 2, f prime of 2, g of 2, and g prime of 2. So f of 2, if we look at the graph, is literally just 2. So f of 2 is equal to 2. Now f prime of 2, we know that it's rise over run, so it's 1 over 2. So that means that the f prime 2 is equal to 2, 1/2 actually. G of 2, we have to look at the graph as well, is just 1. So g of 2 is 1, and then g prime of 2, again, rise over run, that goes -1 down, or yeah, +1, -1, +1, -1, +1, +1, -1. So the slope is -1, -1. Plug all those values in. So h prime of 2 is going to be equal to 1/2 times 1 minus 2 times -1. That's all going to be over 1 squared. Now 1 squared is going to be equal to 1, which is just leave it as. So h prime of 2 is going to be equal to 1/2 plus 2, because 2 times -1 is -2, and then times negative is a +2. We got to multiply the 2 by 2 so that we get an equal denominator. So 1/2 plus 4/2 is now equal to 5/2, which is our final answer for question 5 of mini test 2. Now, for the mini test 3, I have to find the answer for question 9, which is how fast the radius of the circle is increasing when the radius is 3 inches. We know that the area of a circle is increasing by a rate of 2 inches squared over a minute. Now we have to find how fast the radius is increasing. We just don't know what it is yet, but we do know that we can find the value when the radius is equal to 3. So first of all, area of a circle, first thing we do, I didn't know this at the time, but now I know that it's pi r squared. So I got to take the derivative of all that, so I get d of a over dt is going to be equal to, using the product rule, derivative of pi times r squared plus pi times the derivative of r squared. Now the derivative of a constant, which is just what pi is just 0. The derivative of r squared is going to be equal to 2 pi times dr over dt, because we take derivative of r, therefore we get dr dt. Moving down, we are doing dA over dt is equal to 0 plus 2 pi r dr dt. Now we have values here. We can plug in the value of dA over dt, which is 2, is going to be equal to 2 pi, and then the value of r is 3, so times 3 times dr over dt. Divide all that by 2, and we're getting 1 is equal to 3 pi dr dt, and then I just divide that by 3 pi, so 1 over 3 pi is going to be equal to dr dt, and that's my final answer. Moving on to the final question of all this. Mini test 4, question 2, I have to find the particle moving, I have to find the velocity of a particle moving along a straight line when t is equal to 2 seconds. First of all, let's get the function of the acceleration, take the integral of that so that we find the equation of the velocity. Perfect. So we have to add the c, we can't forget, but we don't know what c is. But we do know that the initial velocity is equal to 3 feet per second. So if I just set all of the t's equal to 0, we have to make sure that this is all correct though. So 3 over 3 is equal to 1, so that's just t3 cubed minus 1/2 t squared plus c is equal to 3. Plug in the zeros, c is just going to be equal to 3 because everything else is going to be a 0. Now do the entire equation with v of 2 is equal to t, or put in 2 cubed minus 1/2 2 squared plus 3. Not c anymore, it's 3. The answer to that is going to be 8 minus 1/2 times 4, so 4 halves, plus 3. Put 8 and 3 together because that's just 11. So 11 and 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2. So 11 minus 2 is equal to 9. And we can't forget the units, and the units are feet per second. And there you go. Calculus.